Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Thank you guys so much for joining. Welcome back to the channel. In this one, what I'm going to be doing is talking about the field of view. I'm just going to show a little bit of gameplay showing the sliders, what they do, and where to find it. What you'll do is you'll go to settings, go to video, and then you'll see a field of view or FOV option. What this is going to do is you're going to actually be able to increase the value, and by doing so, you're going to see more on your screen. You'll see everything get a little bit more narrow. Some of the targets will move farther away. What you also see on the sides are the parts that you actually couldn't see before. So anyway, the default value that it's usually set to is 80. You can actually increase it and go all the way to 105, or you can decrease it and go to 70. I personally would recommend any of you who haven't done anything is to increase it at least up to 100. To me, 105 gets a little grainy at the max level just because of the monitor and the hardware that I'm using. So 100 was a pretty good value, although the difference between 100 and 105, it isn't really a lot. It just depends on what you actually end up getting used to. Now keep in mind that when you increase the value, you might have to adjust your sensitivity a little bit. I know for me, as soon as I had increased it, what I had to do is bump up my value. It could be different for somebody else, but what I ended up doing was increasing it after I went to 100. So what you'll see on screen is comparing 80, 100, and 105. If you end up finding you would like something in between, go ahead and do that. But once you get into the game, you'll actually be able to see what this really does in terms of like the real world. Again, when I went to 105, it got a little grainy, so I bumped it to 100. I was still able to see targets that were pretty far away. It looked pretty good, and yeah, that's just what I've stuck with. But anyway, this is a really big deal. Big props to the devs for being able to do this. The only game that I know of that has FOV besides this one is Apex, and so it's probably going to end up being standard. I know the next Call of Duty is going to have field of view. With games getting more intensive and whatnot, the hardware had to increase, thus being able to actually handle some FOV changes. What I would highly recommend doing is go into a few areas like buildings, and you can bump it up a little bit and see how much more you see. For example, what you saw there was the difference between 80 to 100, and then you'll see 105. It's really going to be important for inside of buildings, especially if you're going to use something like a shotgun, because you want to be able to actually see everything without having to turn your character in order to see them, because that's really going to mess up a lot of your shots. So anyway, that's the basics of field of view, another reason of why you should do it. And that's going to wrap up this video. I appreciate you checking out the video. It means a lot to me, and I hope that this was actually helpful. Thanks for watching. Take care.